Hello everyone, happy Friday. Hope you're all doing well, having a great start to your weekend. Boy, do I need a weekend. It's been quite a week, I tell you, quite a week. So how's everyone doing tonight? I see we got JMZ 56, Corvette Jim, Briar Blues, Piper on the 45, Paul the Piper. Hello Paul, good to see you buddy. Andrew Cirigliano, how you doing, Andrew? Andrew's our guest tonight. More about that in just a minute. Ron H, Piano Piper, Tobacco Pipes International. Hello, Mark. Good to see you. Texas Ranger. Hello there. Boca de Boynton. How you doing, Charlie? Portsmouth Piper. The 16th Day. Hello. Robert Miller. Sorry, Robert. Aussie E Piper. Kilted Piper Steve. Hey, Steve. How's it going? Steph and Skip Kane. Hello there, Steph. And Patches Seller. Hello there, Patches Seller. How you doing tonight, my friend? Got Steve, I hope you don't mind me giving an update here, but heard from Steve, Kathy was coming home today. I hope that worked out okay, Steve, and that she's doing well. So we're certainly happy to hear that. Parik Piper Skip. Hello, Skip. Good to see you. Taciturn Richard. Dude Rustica. Great to see everyone tonight. Thank you, Paul. Thank you so much. Armchair Piper. Hello, Ed. Jeffrey Feinberg. Good to see you, Jeffrey. Boy, I tell you, I've been... and if you watch my Wednesday video, which I think I actually got out on Wednesday this week, it's just been a heck of a week. I've been really just strapped to that computer behind me for 9 hours straight every day, and I am so glad. I was so looking forward to just doing this tonight and then doing nothing tomorrow. Bona Piper. Hello, Christian. Good to see you. So I am smoking my Matches Tribute Pipe, and I've got some Haunted Bookshop in it. And later tonight, I think I'm going to smoke, I might change my mind about this, but I've got this GLP's Barbary Coast. So I think I'm going to be smoking that. And I've got this Medico with the nylon bit, which I really like. This is my favorite shop pipe. So we'll give that a try later. What's up? Hello. How you doing, buddy? Kilted Piper Steve says Kathy's pumping out orders like a drill sergeant. Well, good for her, Steve, and give her all our love. We're so happy that she's doing well. Pipes and Bees, hello there. And Couch is here. How you doing, Couch? Desert Pine Piper. Ron Hardcrackers Ward. Hello, Ron. Ron is drinking some Miller High Life. Haven't drank that since he had long hair and no beard. XJ, how you doing, buddy? XJ90X, nice of you to join us from the other side of the planet tonight. 907 Piper, hello. So speaking of drinks, I have a beer. It's a shame my buddy Voodoo isn't here. He'd enjoy this. It is a Yingling Flight. So a lot of you guys know I've been dieting lately, trying to lose a few pounds, and I had wine with dinner tonight, and I thought, well, I'll be a good boy, and this is one of Yingling's light beers. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbohydrates, 4.2% alcohol. This reminds me of some of the really cheap beer I would drink when I was in high school. The names of which I can't even remember. I don't recommend it at all. Tim Fournier, White Bengal Slices in a Torino. Nice. Pipe Tree, how you doing, Tree? And there are no Bengals and Bengal slices. That's correct, Tim. It would be a very different blend. Tony 513. What's up? It's yeah, you're lucky you're not getting that as snow. I think that every time it rains in the winter. Buonasera to you, Paul 305. And Signalman Tony. Hello, Tony. Good to see you. So our guest tonight is Andrew Cirigliano. Really interested in getting to know Andrew a bit better, and looking forward to talking to him soon. We'll wait till about quarter after the hour before we call him. In addition to being a really good YouTube pipe presenter in the YTPC, Andrew is quite the fisherman, and you know, I enjoy fishing, although my style is a bit different from what I've seen Andrew do. But I think a lot of you guys are either fishermen or vicariously like to fish, so I think we'll have a lot to talk about there beyond pipes and tobacco. So I smoke this pipe only on Fridays, and I only smoke Haunted Bookshop out of it. And granted, I do smoke it all day Friday, but I was really surprised last Friday I had to ream it. And I mean, I really had to ream it. I couldn't get my finger in. And it doesn't seem like I've had this pipe long enough for that to have happened. Now, I guess time flies. Steph's going to be having red wine with Carter Hall. Well, in the Friday 7 Ellie. That's a fine combination, Steph. And Corvette Jim is smoking a Bluefin Cuddy with black gold maple. Nice. Oh, you're afraid to open the Five Brothers. I just finished a pouch yesterday. I love Five Brothers, but it's definitely a burley blend. Robert Miller's drinking some Sagamore Rye Bourbon. Very nice, Robert. And Paul 305 has got some Buffalo Trace. Kirk from Florida. Hello, Kirk. Great to see you, buddy. Yes, Ed, it sure is. Ed says fishing's a good excuse to drink beer. Not the kind of fishing I do where you wind up hiking and wading in rushing rivers. Not a good idea to be drinking beer then, but I always thought ice fishing was one of the best excuses to drink that's ever been invented. Tony's having some backwoods flake and a K-Woody. Good stuff, Tony. And the 16th day has got some Old Dark fired in a cob and drinking a Coke. Very nice. All right, Steve, I'll do my best. I'm glad to know that Kathy has got somebody watching out for me. Lester Skinner, finishing a tin of Stonehenge and some Angel's Envy Rye. Very nice, Lester. And I also want to give a shout out to my friend Jack Kurtz. Jack, I know you're watching. Jack has been having some computer problems and he can't join in the chat, but he is one of our faithful viewers. He's here every Friday, and I was talking to him earlier today, and I know that he is right now smoking some Haunted Bookshop in his Matches Tribute pipe with some honey whiskey. So enjoy, Jack. Glad to know you're out there, buddy. West Virginia Grizzly is having some Sir Walter Raleigh in a cob. Can't beat that. Yeah, this weather is good for social distancing there, Patch. And Jim's having some Death Wish coffee. Man, I drank a lot of coffee today. The past few days, so normally work starts at 9, but I usually start like 7:30 or so. But 7:30 to 9 is just time when I get catch up on things. Well, the past couple of days, it started at 8, and I haven't even had like an hour off for lunch. I had about a half an hour today. Just been crazy. XJ, you got a fiberglass job this afternoon? Oh, I see. Yeah, you got to do a fiberglass. Yeah, if it's too hot, that's not going to be fun. Prince Albert in a can. Very funny, Paul. So, Desert Pine Piper is recommending Stumptown Airbender coffee? Hmm. Tim Fournier's 6th Avenue coffee with chicory. A lot of coffee drinkers out there tonight. Oh no, WV Grizzly, that's not good. Ice storm, no power for 9 days. I went through that when we lived in Atlanta. We had an ice storm that knocked out power, and it was for like 6 or 7 days in our case. And the worst of it was we were in an apartment complex, and you could actually watch the power come back on and like snake through the complex, um, because each apartment was on different lines. And at one point, we were sitting there for 2 days without power, and we'd look out the window and we'd see everybody else's house lit up. We were the last sort of string of apartments to get power. That was not fun. So I can't imagine what 9 days is like. And at least in Atlanta, you'd get the ice in the morning, and it would be gone by noon, and you were back to Atlanta weather. Uh, I'm sure that's not the case out in West Virginia. What's up? Had a cataract removed. I hope that went well. Did they put a lens in? What's up? Yeah, Jim, those Atlanta snow and ice storms were just strange, especially coming from here because I'm originally from from Philadelphia actually, and I lived in Pittsburgh for a while and then moved down to Atlanta. And boy, it was really a shock when we got this like little tiny bit of snow in the morning, and I decided to go to work, and it was a mistake. Not because I couldn't drive, but because everybody thought they could drive, and they weren't paying attention to the fact that the roads were slick and they were just sliding all over the place. So you turn around and go home, and then by 12 o'clock, everything was back to normal. Snowgeddon 2014, huh? They've had worse storms than what I'm describing. I don't mean to make it sound like they're all that way, but an awful lot of them are. Glad to hear that. What's up? Yeah, I had my cataracts removed and had lenses put in both eyes, and I can't believe what a difference it's made. Changed my life. All right, folks. So we got a pretty good crowd in, and we got a guest tonight who is Andrew Cirigliano. And I think I'm going to go ahead and see if we can get Andrew on the phone. And you know how this works. Andrew and I'll chat for a bit, and then after that, we'll take some questions from you guys in the chat. Let's see. And as always, give me a thumbs up once Andrew starts talking. Let me know if it's working out okay.
Hello.
Hello, Andrew. How are you tonight?
Good. How you doing, Mike?
Doing fine. Doing just fine. Happy that it's finally Friday. That's for sure.
I hear you. I think everything you said, I'd have to echo as far as the week goes. A similar week.
Oh, really? Well,
yeah.
So we're both glad it's over.
Yes, absolutely. With the snow on top of it all is the icing. So.
Yeah, that helped. I mean, I'll be honest with you. We got some more snow today, and I just decided I'm just not dealing with it. It's Friday. There's nothing to worry about tomorrow. I'll deal with it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I hear you.
So thanks a lot for taking the time out to join us tonight and for being a guest. I really appreciate it. And you know, the way we usually like to get started is just to ask you to tell us a bit about yourself.
Yep, sure thing. So I'm born and raised here in Jersey Shore in New Jersey, and went to school in Boston and moved up to Massachusetts for a while. My parents moved to New Hampshire, and I was up there for maybe 6-7 years. And then after school, I got a job with a computer company, software, and came back, was lucky enough to have an opportunity in New Jersey, and came back to New Jersey, and pretty much been here ever since. Travel quite a bit for work. Lucky enough to get a chance to travel pretty much all over the world, and obviously you mentioned that fishing has always been a big part of my life since I was a kid. My dad was a big fisherman and took us freshwater fishing, nothing super fancy, but interestingly, he was actually, when he was young, he was a big fly fisherman, but never really taught me, or we never got into that when I was a kid. Always just kind of lake and bass fishing, that kind of thing. And later on in life, I got into fly fishing, and it became my first real love, passion, hobby. And so you mentioned these days I tend to do more kind of conventional big water fishing, but every chance I get, I'm always fly fishing. It's I think, as you know, though, around here, right, there's not as many great opportunities for that. So
yeah, you'd probably have to travel a bit, but that's cool. I'm glad to hear that. So we have more in common than I thought. I actually my grandparents had a house at the Jersey Shore, and I grew up spending every summer with them, and that's where I learned to fish. So I actually learned saltwater first.
Okay.
But it's funny, these days I haven't been saltwater fishing since I was probably in my early 20s. It's been a really long time. So it's just exclusively freshwater for me. So kind of the other way around. So what part of the Jersey Shore is home for you?
Yep. So I live really in, I guess, near, for those that know the Jersey Shore area, I'm very close to Asbury Park, New Jersey. In Wall Township, so it's not, it's basically central. It's about an hour, to New York City from where I am, and an hour to Atlantic City, so pretty smack dab in the central. I live near, right near the Manasquan Inlet, which is one of the major inlets out to the ocean, and most of the time I'm fishing either in near inshore stuff, or striped bass and fluke in the summertime, or my buddies who really got me into the offshore fishing were, the crazy ones that get in the small center console boats without a cabin and go 100 miles offshore for tuna. So,
oh wow, hence
the name.
Right. So, do you primarily rely on their boats, your own boat? Do you charter boats? What's the most common way that you'll go fishing?
Yeah, so I've done all the above, and I guess everybody can joke about the saying about boats, right? I sold I had a boat, a little 23 foot center console, nothing fancy. Though I did have some small twin engines, so when the weather was good, we'd go 60, 70 miles in that boat. But now I sold that, and initially intending to kind of move up and get a bigger boat. There's always a need for a bigger boat, but with everything else going on and then COVID and everything, I've kind of put that on hold. So I'm thankfully on my friends' boats now more than anything else, and they have some nicer boats, so I'm able to do that. And I guess that's kind of the best scenario, right? You don't have to worry about it all yourself. You just jump on your friend's boat and take advantage.
Right. And this is a really poorly informed question because I know so little about saltwater fishing. But
Sure.
is that primarily bait fishing, or are you using lures, or what are you doing there?
Yeah, it's again kind of all the above, depending on what you're fishing for. And I've done, when I had my boat, I did a fair amount of fly fishing too for stripers and bluefish. I've actually tried to fly fish for tuna, for the little football bluefin, and when they come in and you get an opportunity, I've tried that, and I've hooked up but never successfully landed one on the fly. But yeah, it's mostly a mix of bait. We do a lot of bait fishing. What's really fun in the spring when the stripers come in and you get kind of these, you can get 20, 30, even up to 50-pound stripers here off the Jersey Shore. We have the bunker, if you've ever heard of bunker. It's kind of these big, maybe your hand size bait fish, and we kind of snag them or net them, and then you live line them, and that's a lot of fun because you're kind of just feeding them out, waiting for the stripers to come and kind of snag them, eat them, and then you hook them up and catch the stripers with them. So that's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, that sounds really cool.
Yeah.
I've seen videos of guys fly fishing for striper from kayaks and getting pulled along, hooking a big one and just getting pulled along like they got a motor on the kayak.
Yeah, I've never tried that. I do have a kayak, but it's not a fishing kayak. Although I fished from it just inshore, in the river. I actually am lucky. I live very close to the Manasquan River, which a lot of people who don't know New Jersey. I mean, New Jersey, so there's there really are some beautiful areas here in Jersey, and by us, the river is really special. When you're back in the back of it, it's fresh water, and it's almost like you'd almost think you were, in Florida or in Louisiana. There's, it's almost kind of like bayou-esque, and a lot of, reeds and beautiful little areas, murkish areas to fish, and then it opens up and it turns into salt, and you can take that all the way out to the ocean if you want. So.
Right. Wow, sounds nice. So let me get this straight, Andrew. You're saying there's some beautiful parts of New Jersey.
Yeah, I know, right? People are probably saying no to that, but there really are. They do exist. Unfortunately, when you fly into New Jersey or when you travel through New Jersey, you're on the highways and typically see the worst parts. But the parts out, probably on the way to you, which is something else I can talk about. But I spent a really good portion of my life working for a major customer that's based out of Allentown. Part the old Bell Labs, Lucent, AT&T. And so I used to go out to Allentown every single week. And that part out when you get out there is really beautiful too, Western New Jersey.
Yeah, I've been through that area, not for fishing reasons, but for various business reasons, and it is really quite beautiful.
A lot of farmland. Actually, my wife, her family were one of they were farmers. Actually, her grandfather and even her father for a bit farmed before the state actually forced them to sell their land for. Here where we live, there's a big reservoir, and the state turned that into a reservoir. But they still have some, a lot of that land it's state owned, so it's, their old farms and some of their old barns and things are all still there. It's pretty neat. I've been thinking for a long time and kind of make a video of that, maybe a Bluefin Piper-esque or Portland Piper-esque kind of video, just taking a tour, because it really is. I mean, there's times in the summer, there's a little lake, and I love to go, I'll take a really light, like a 3-weight fly rod, and go fishing for sunnies and bluegills.
Right.
And in the heat of summer, sometimes you can go through that area and think you're in the Midwest. It's just really beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing more fun than those summer days catching sunnies and bluegills on a fly rod.
Yeah, I mean, those kind of things really make you feel like a kid again.
Absolutely.
When you're just casting those lightweight rods, and I use just a little top water caddis, something to just skitter on top of the water, and it's easy fishing, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, you can pretty much bring one in on every cast, but yeah, it's a great deal of fun. I agree with you. Great.
Yeah.
So tell me a bit about what got you into YouTube.
Yeah, good question. And I think it's interesting. I think it was really great timing for me. Probably about almost 3 years ago now. I'm coming up on my 3-year anniversary. I was looking at that the other day, I think in March. And I had a good friend of mine who I work with, who I hang out with, at least used to prior to COVID. Now we have pipe meetups during the week on Zoom, but he hung out with him. We used to go out every night after work when I was up in Allentown, and he's a pipe smoker, and has smoked a pipe since he was 18, probably 30 plus years. And I just always enjoyed kind of sitting and watching him and smelling the typical kind of aromatic smell from the pipe, and just thought, I really wanted to get into pipe smoking. And I've always liked the idea of pipe smoking. For me, it's in that sense, I like that kind of old school vibe. And one night I said, what? I really just, I said, okay, enough's enough. I got to try it. So we went to one of the local shops and got a few shop pipes and some tobacco, and I tried it. And it's funny because my friend is the guy who smoked the same blend, and he still does and he laughs. He's like, I'd still be smoking the same thing if it wasn't for me sending him all these fancy tobaccos. But he got me into it, and then when I got into it, I started, of course, doing the engineering thing. Right, I started scouring YouTube and looking how to smoke a pipe and reading and everything about it, and just kind of fell head into it. And then I started seeing the YouTube pipe community. And I think there was one of my first videos was probably a VR for a GAW either to the PG-13 or whoever it was at the time, and the rest is history. I started with that with a few VRs, and then just started doing tobacco reviews and chats, and I was saying it's really been a blessing because I've met so many great people. As you know, the YouTube community is just such a generous, friendly community. I got bombed with tobacco and immediately, and now with COVID, I don't know that I'd have half the friends and the relationships that I've been able to maintain, through YouTube have really been a blessing for me, just to be able to have some socialization,
Right. Yeah. I think a lot of guys would agree with you on that. It's filled a gap that we didn't even know we were going to have when we all started this.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So tell us a bit then about your pipe smoking. So
sure.
You got into it because of this friend. How has that evolved over time, and were there any surprises for you along the way?
So pretty much, I'd say right away, I got into it, and I actually started even beyond that first night. I started after watching videos, Mutton Chop and everybody else. I watched. I started smoking right out the bat, Dunhill early morning pipe, and some English blends, and really enjoyed that. And just kind of after that, I just got super involved and interested in all aspects of it, and fell into the whole PAD and TAD, and really it's been a great experience. But I don't know, surprises for me. I don't know if there's any really anything I'd say is any major surprise. It's I think like most, I would say the main thing is that I probably got too crazy with tobacco and pipes right off the bat before I knew what I really liked or what I really wanted to smoke. But so now for me, it's I've gotten to that phase now where I start to realize what I the type of pipes that I enjoy and the types of tobacco I enjoy, and have tried to kind of narrow down the focus as much as possible. But I'm pretty all over the place with what I smoke.
Right. Well, nothing wrong with that as long as you like it, right?
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I think that the internet and YouTube has really been a wonderful thing for pipe smoking in general. You know, it's probably helped keep it alive. But at the same time, that trap that you described, a lot of folks fall into just because you're inundated with so much information. It used to be really hard to find that stuff, and you'd be lucky if you could find whatever tobaccos were at the drugstore at the time. Now you've got access to thousands of blends and don't know where to start.
Yeah, and I would say it's interesting. I probably would answer this. I think most smokers got a blog going where you ask people to talk about their aha moment. And I mentioned this on when I was talking to the guys on Professor Jeremiah on the Pip Helmet. But the aha thing for me was watching Stogie Fart's video about how to retrohale. And I'd never actually smoked cigarettes a little bit before, but I never knew what retrohaling was. And it's so funny thinking when you think back to that first time. I'm sitting there like trying to breathe out my nose and seeing, I think I'm doing it, and then you finally get it right, and you get all these extra flavors at that point. And I think that was probably the point that really got me hooked, and at that point I really fell into it.
Right. Yeah, it does really make a huge difference in terms of what you're experiencing when you learn little things like that.
Yeah.
So your channel seems to be, I have to admit, I intended to go and watch some more of your videos because I've just been terribly behind in watching anybody's videos and didn't get the chance to today. So forgive me if some of these questions are a bit silly, but your channel seems to be doing very well. I mean, you've got a really good subscriber base. And did that happen quickly, or is that something that kind of gradually grew over the years?
Yeah, I guess I think it was a little slower. Now I think every year that goes by, we seem to have more people in the community, which is great, and I think subscribers tend to the subscribership seems to be going faster. For me, when I started, I got the shout outs from Ghost Cobb, and those kind of things certainly helped, and I think I kind of got up to that 200 mark pretty quickly, and then from there it was a bit of a kind of a slow growth, and then right now I've been kind of struggling at that 900 plateau, which it's for me it's not a big deal either way. I think the 1,000 subscriber mark is a big one, in general, but also because you can do the lives now with the mobile, which is would be nice. But I think for over 3 years, I guess, it depends on everybody's perspective. I would say that 1,000 subscribers in 3 years to me is pretty fast growth, but maybe others would say it's slow. I don't know.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's all relative, of course, but no, it's excellent in my opinion. It's really excellent, and
right.
Yeah, testament to the kind of content you're putting out, I think.
Yeah, it's I would say my channel is a bit all over the place. I think I tend to just kind of gravitate to what I'm doing and liking at the moment. I will say though, I enjoy I do like just kind of doing chats, but I really enjoy doing tobacco reviews. Not that I will protest to at all be any kind of expert or have an amazing palate or things like that. But I just find it interesting, especially when you kind of do these first impressions and you smoke these blends and make a video, and then you come back to it after you've smoked a tin or more of that same tobacco, and you're thinking, man, what was I thinking when I made that video, right?
Yeah. No, that's an interesting point. It's kind of a way to keep a journal almost that you can go back to and see how your taste changed, or find out why you liked or didn't like that blend. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Do I remember that you were either thinking about pipe making, or you may have actually done some pipe making?
Yep. Yeah, I started making pipes probably about maybe last fall. I got into it. It's kind of, I think it's partly kind of who I am when I get into a hobby. You know, I'd love to talk more with you about, you know, rod making. I got, when I'm big, you know, into fishing, as we said, and I do make fishing rods, but I've never made, tried to make a cane rod, but I make, custom conventional rods, and, really enjoy doing that, though I don't do it a lot these days. And so kind of as I've progressed in pipe smoking, the whole art of pipe making really intrigued me, and you know, so I kind of took the plunge and started, actually thanks to Briar Blues, to Mike. He had, you know, sent me a one of those kit blocks, and I totally destroyed it and made a mess of it. I have it, you know, staring at it. You know, right now it's a reminder of, you know, where I started. But I really enjoyed that, and you know, ended up getting a wood lathe, and you know, started making pipes. And I've made only 15. I'm on my 16th pipe right now, so I don't, you know, I really don't have as much time as I would like to do it. Trying right now to do maybe a pipe a month. That's my goal. But I think for me, it's another aspect of the hobby that just gets me out of my day job, right? For, you know, I'm on the computer all day, like you just said, and there's something about being able to work with your hands and make something that is just so rewarding to me that, you know, I just really, really enjoy it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And it's interesting. I definitely resonated with what you were saying about building the fishing rods, because that's kind of how I got into that. You know, I like to get so deep into the hobby that, you know, I've made just about everything but the fly line at this point. You know, it's the only thing that is, you know, I even made my own reel once.
Oh, wow.
And
wow. Okay. There you go.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's and the thing is with cane rods, the advice I would give you is, people have these classes where you can go and build one, you know, over the course of a couple days. And because, you know, by the time you buy all the equipment and everything and find out you don't like it, it's just not worth it.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But you can get that experience. And if you do like it, then you can, you know, invest in it and all. But that's what I did with the reel building. There was just at one of the fly rod, actually bamboo rod meetups that I went to, they had a reel making class, and you, during the course of a day, made one. So that was a neat experience. But yeah, I can see where, you know, that kind of a personality gets you into, if you're a pipe smoker, gets you into eventually making a pipe.
Yeah, and it's another way to connect with the hobby too. You know, it's like with fly fishing, we're making your own flies, right? There's a little bit extra enjoyment you get from catching a fish on a fly you tied, and similarly when you're smoking a pipe you made. It's just, you know, nothing. There's anything amazingly special about it per se, but it's just, you know, it feels a little better or whatever, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. So, do you feel that you've got a better understanding of pipes because of the pipe making? Like, if you were to go and look to buy a new pipe, do you feel like you look at them differently now?
Yeah, definitely. And you know, not to say that you can't have the same kind of understanding, just, you know, digging into your own pipes that you don't make. But for me, yeah, going through the process of making pipes and understanding the drilling, and it also has forced me to learn a little bit more about, you know, airway diameters and things like that influence the smoke. And, you know, the idea, again, I'm not going to pretend to be an expert, but the idea of understanding, having a, you know, like a funneled stem, and having that drilling start off and be a smooth kind of transition all the way to the bowl, and how that may affect the smoke itself and the turbulence and moisture content, things like that. I'll say I've definitely learned about much more about it by going through the process of making pipes.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine that would be true. That's really interesting. And yeah, you're right. You don't you know, obviously you can get a similar understanding by buying beat up estate pipes on eBay and restoring them, and, you know, finding out what works and what doesn't that way. Because we don't want everybody to start making pipes, but
it is.
Yeah, but I do think it increases the enjoyment if you have a better understanding of that, sort of the mechanics of how the pipe works.
Yep, absolutely. And yeah, just another, and it's another thing that shows you just as I've gotten into it, right, the generosity. And actually, what I should say for you, Mike, is I'm a member. When I started really getting into pipe smoking, and I was traveling out to Allentown, Pennsylvania, still every week. A couple, 2-3 years ago, I'd actually probably still be going out there now once a week if it wasn't for COVID. But I joined the Lehigh Valley Pipe Club, and there is a New Jersey Pipe Club, but it's really in North Jersey, and it's pretty far for me to go. But since I'm in Allentown every week, I could kind of plan my work trips so that I was overnight there and go to the pipe meetups. And the group there is amazing. It's some of the founding members include Russ Ouellette, and others. Not that I haven't met Russ; he doesn't show up to the meets these days. But the guys there are so knowledgeable and friendly, and there's some amazing pipe makers. A couple that are part of that club, including Juan Azurquia, he was just on the Pipe Magazine radio show. But there's a pipe maker who goes there. His name's Jason Ziner. And he flies way under the radar, but makes just beautifully exquisite pipes. And he's a cabinet maker by trade. And he's the one that when I started getting into pipe making, he kind of gave me all the knowledge, what to do, where to start. And then when I wanted to get a lathe, what to look for, and motors, and all that. And the guy, and every bit of the way of my first couple pipes, I was bothering him, and kind enough to really help me along. So those pipe clubs are just a really great wealth of knowledge too.
Yeah, definitely. And that's one that I've heard of. I've actually been invited to visit, and it's just one of those things that it just never works out for me. But once we get past all this COVID stuff, I'm definitely going to try to make more pipe club meetings, because I think it's just part of the hobby that I'm missing out on.
Oh, yeah. And actually, a side note, that club meets at a place called the Wooden Match. I don't know if you've ever been there. It's an old train station that they turned into a bar. And believe it or not, it's, you can still smoke there and eat there.
Wow.
And, so it's a rarity these days.
Yeah.
But you go and it's, we have a meetups either, outside in the summertime, which is great. But inside, they have a really nice basement area with good filtration, and you can go down there and just have a great time. So it's awesome, especially in the winter.
Oh, that sounds really fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the guys that is it Standard Tobacco, the guys that brought back Bengal Slices and the John Cotton blends. I think they're associated with that club as well.
Yep. Yes, they are.
They are. Okay. Yeah, that's a great group. I've definitely got to keep that on the radar for the future.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of fun. I've had a lot of events there where, I shouldn't tell Mike this, but I know he's listening, but, Mike, I really miss Briar Blues' blind challenges that we used to do. And Mike would give us the blends every month, and I'd always bring them over, and there's some good guys there, so I'd pass it around. What do you think, guys? Think this is a Dunhill blend? You think this is something else? What do you think? So
so you were calling in lifelines on the
I
challenge.
was, yeah. Yeah. Not that it helped me at all, because if you check my record with Mike, it's not very good. So.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that is, that's something else that I will say. It's really an interesting experience. It's kind of intimidating to people, I think, and it's really just for fun. No one's really keeping score, but it's just doing a blind challenge like that really gets you to, look at the tobacco and try to figure out, okay, what's this cut and what's the components, and then you smoke it and you get your own flavor without any kind of preconceived notions, looking on tobacco reviews or anything like that. So it does, I think it kind of helps expand your palate if it's to help you learn a little more about tobacco.
Absolutely. Yeah, I experienced that once. Bona Piper and I did a trade where we kind of blind traded 5 blends. And the funny thing is, I knew what the 5 blends were. I just didn't know which was which.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I would have thought that would have been relatively easy, but I think, and Christian can remind me, but I think I got 0 correct out of the 5. So
Yep. There you go.
it really is surprisingly difficult. Great. Well, Andrew, it's already been a half an hour. It's really flown by. So if it's okay with you, I'm going to turn over to the chat room and see if any folks have questions for you.
All right, go for it.
So guys, this would be the time to put in your questions for Andrew. And we got a bit of a delay, so we might have to wait a minute here. All right, here we go. Desert Pine Piper is saying, can you talk on your trip to England and your visit with Simon?
Well, yeah, sure. I'd love to. So this was actually last December. My brother-in-law is a big cigar smoker and beer aficionado, and I had an opportunity. I had some air miles from work, and I said to him, you want to go to London for a long weekend, and of course he was up for it, so we actually were able to go, and we intended on going just to kind of do a guys, like we're going to go to James J. Fox and smoke cigars and pipes, and actually he looked up all the famous pubs in London, and we did a pub, not really a crawl, but we just went pub to pub to pub and just had an amazing, fantastic time. And before I went, I had reached out to Simon and said, hey, it'd be great to connect. And he had been, pretty busy, but managed to get some free time. And we found a hotel near where we were staying there in the St. James area. And just kind of got a chance to connect. And I will say that the thing that it's funny, we're all normal people, but at that point, Simon was still very much, behind the camera and wasn't showing himself really for what I had known him at all. So when he finally actually turned the corner and showed up, I couldn't help but smiling because, this is what Simon looks like. So, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. Simon was kind enough to gift me with a pipe that was still in his early days of pipe making, and I had blessed to have that and still enjoy that pipe. And it shows you kind of that these experiences on the YouTube, if you're lucky enough, even in the U.S., when you meet people at pipe meets, I've been to a few shows in Vegas, and I was lucky enough to go to Chicago. But you meet people and you feel like you've known them forever, right? I mean, you feel like they're friends that you've known for your whole life.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, and Simon, to the extent that I know him through YouTube, Simon's a really nice guy, and we had a great time. We really did. It was I know we recorded some of it, but we just kind of like this, just sat around, chatted, and I was very impressed with Simon's cigar knowledge, because I think we had bought some cigars and put them on the table to decide what to smoke, and he had, picked them out, knew exactly what they were just with a quick glance. So that was before I was really into cigars. I've gotten much more into cigars now, but I was definitely impressed with that. Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. All right, so Tony513 wants to know, and this was an inevitable question, what's the biggest fish you ever caught?
I'll try to tell a tale here. Probably, so the biggest fish I personally ever caught is, I'm not sure if it's probably, I don't think it's the one in the picture you had there, but and again, where I really got my name from, a good friend and I would go to Hatteras. For about 3 or 4 years, we would go to Hatteras for a month in February and March, and we'd rent a house, and if anybody knows that area, in the summertime, it's super packed, and it's a beautiful place. But in the winter, it's really it's dead, it's isolated, and you can go down there and rent a 3-story house, for nothing. And what we did is we'd rent a house. My buddy and I were both able to work from the house during the week, and our friends would come down on the weekends and fish with us and pay some rent. And we chartered a captain we became friends with. We chartered him for the month, and we'd go out and fish for giant bluefin. But we did it with stand-up gear, and we did it jigging and popping. So that's using metal lures without a fighting chair or anything like that. So I guess it's as close to, you know, man to fish as you can get, right? As fair a fight as you can get. But I mean, the first time we went, we just our gear got absolutely destroyed. We broke 2 rods, we broke a fighting belt.
Wow.
You name it, we broke it. We lost 30 lures. And then the next season, we were much more prepared for the right gear to fish for those. They will test every bit of your, if you have anything wrong, we tied our own knots and all that kind of stuff, and you will get tested by Bluefin. But a 200, and to answer the question, I think it was a 275-pound bluefin I landed and actually released. I have a certificate for that. We tagged it and released it. But I have caught bigger fish. Much bigger fish, but probably more of a team effort than just me myself. So.
Right. Boy, that's that must have been quite a battle bringing that in, though. Standing up like that.
Yeah. Everyone's different, but it really is an amazing experience when a bluefin hits a lure. It's one thing if you're trolling and they hit it and you grab the rod after they've kind of hooked themselves and you fight them. But when you're fishing with a lure, you're moving that lure, and then they take it, and it's literally like a freight train has hit your fishing rod, and it's just off to the races. I'm kind of a small guy, and so we are wearing fighting belts, and the belts have a little handle on the back, so my buddies would hold on to the back, so I didn't fly off the back of the boat. But yeah, it's quite an experience.
Right. Wow. That is, Tony's saying that's awesome, and that is awesome. Let's see, Desert Pine Piper thanked you for the story about Simon and says he hopes to get a chance to meet you at the West Coast Pipe Show in November.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Desert Pine. I look forward to that. I've so missed not getting a chance to go to the pipe shows and connect with people. And the Vegas show, for anybody who gets a chance to go, is an amazing experience. It's small compared to the other pipe shows, but you can smoke, in the casino where they have it at the Palace. At least they did at the Palace Casino, and it's a cool. I'm not a Vegas. Jim probably knows a lot more than I do. I've been to Vegas a few times, but it's not on the Strip. It's kind of off Strip, but it's a really nice place. And I went there and I got to hang out with Mike for the few days, Briar Blues, and actually a good friend that I've met through pipe smoking on one of the other forums. Actually, he showed up, and we all just kind of hung out and just had an amazing time. So I definitely look forward to that.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. And yeah, Vegas is one of the few shows that my wife has approved because she wants to go to Vegas too.
Yep.
So let's hope we can get back to those shows actually happening. That would be fantastic.
It'll probably be touch and go this year, but I'm hoping, maybe if we're lucky, if we can get vaccines going by summertime, maybe it'll happen.
Yeah. Let's just keep up the hope. Boca de Boynton's making a really good point. He's pointing out that it is easier, meaning the landing the fish, if you're not smoking your pipe.
I can imagine that's true. I will say that since I've gotten into pipe smoking, I don't think I've tried landing a bluefin, although I've fished with a pipe. I will say that the process of deciding you want to smoke a pipe while you're out searching for bluefin and going to load your pipe and light it is a good time for a fish to actually hit your line. But I striper fish with a pipe. I usually just smoke a cob, and usually when I'm in a boat with other guys, I'm smoking usually aromatics just to be polite. And the guys like I'll smoke Cold Blood Red Moon or something like that, and it seems to go over well. That is difficult. I have landed stripers with a pipe in my mouth, but it makes it a little more challenging.
I can imagine. When I'm fishing, I'll smoke when I'm sitting on the bank, but not when I'm actually trying to fish, because I don't know that I would probably. I haven't really done it fly fishing, and I certainly probably wouldn't do it while I'm trying to fly fish. But have you, by the way, Mike? Have you ever been up to the West Branch fly fishing? Yes, it's been a while, and I only once or twice. Yeah, good fishing there. So M Cigar 77 is giving you a kind review, saying he's got one of your pipes and it's amazing in finish and mechanically sound. So good.
That's really, really cool to hear. Yeah, as you start getting these out, like right now, to be honest, Mike, the pipes I make, I'm just getting them out if people are interested. And, I'm not trying to make major money right now on my pipes. I'm just trying to recoup the cost of the briar and keep the hobby going for me. And as I learn and get better, who knows? And I do hope someday when I can work less that I can do it more I do want to do it more full time because I really enjoy it. But yeah, right now but it's great to hear. I mean, that's kind of what you what you hope for.
Right, absolutely. No, it's great to get that feedback, I'm sure. So there's a bit of a debate going on here between Night Piper and Desert Pine Piper as to whether the best thing to smoke out on the ocean is Navy Flake or Deluxe Navy Rolls.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'd probably smoke either, honestly, but I think I do get the Navy Flake. Again, that's what I would prefer to smoke. I like Navy Rolls. Mm-hmm. I would probably prefer Navy Flake if I was out there, and I've started to get to the point now where I'm good enough friends with my buddies that I've started to think I'm going to probably smoke what I want to smoke instead of what I know they're going to enjoy more. So I think maybe I'll gravitate towards that next time. Right.
So are there would those be your go-tos now, or do you have a go-to tobacco these days?
And I thought about that because that's going to obviously be a question that comes up. I really enjoy Virginia. I smoke everything. I really enjoy Virginias and vapors more than anything. If I'm just going to grab something, these days it's either going to be a vapor and I like my blends spicy, the heavier Perique spicy style blends. But I've actually, this past year, I feel like I've really gotten more into Burleys and Kentuckys. And like Haunted Bookshop, I smoke that every week at least, and I was smoking it tonight first. I actually just lit up a bowl of San Sepulcro, so hence the dark-fired, spicy blends. But I do, so Virginia Vapors and Elizabethan is one I really enjoy. It's high on my list. Escudo is high on my list. But, this San Sepulcro and the Solani Silver Flake I really enjoy. And lately, actually, I've been smoking a lot of the new McBaron vanilla roll cake, which is a great kind of crossover aromatic that I really like as well. So.
Yeah, that's one that I've been trying to avoid, but I think I'm going to have to eventually try it because so many people have been saying good things about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's an interesting blend. It has some. It starts off with a really beautiful, vanilla, pure vanilla, not chemical vanilla notes. And then it kind of just, as you smoke through it, the pure tobacco flavor really starts to come out and got a little bit of spiciness on the retrohale. And I was actually shocked, honestly, the smoking pipes and tobacco reviews sites said that it had Kentucky leaf, rolled with Virginia. And then I think Per Jensen had corrected that and said that it is really just pure Virginia with the vanilla topping. So that's kind of shows you the power of perception, right? You read something and that's what you taste, and then you find out that's not what it is.
Right.
So.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Any last questions here? Because we're coming up on 9 o'clock. There's been a lot of discussion back and forth on the best fishing tobacco, and we've gotten suggestions like Field and Stream and trout
you know what,
stream.
actually, I will say, Mike, I didn't mention this, but I don't smoke it a lot, but I will say Trout Stream is, before I smoked the vanilla roll cake, Trout Stream was my favorite aromatic. I feel that's the Scotty's Trout Stream. And it's, for me, it's a really nice quality aromatic, not chemical, and good quality tobaccos, and I think that's actually one that I would probably take with me trout fishing.
Yeah, a lot of folks really do like that one. I'm not a big aromatic smoker myself, but I've tried that, and it's quite good. So great. Well, Andrew, I think we're going to wrap it up and let you go because it is 9 o'clock. But thank you so much for taking the time out to join us tonight. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, thank you, Mike. I've, it's great being on, and just thanks for doing these lives, and I really enjoy them, and everything you do, and especially I've loved watching your videos. The repair videos are just fantastic, and that's another thing that kind of got me into YouTube for a long time. So yeah, I appreciate it.
Oh, great! Thank you. It's really nice of you to say, and good to hear that. All right, so guys, the link to Andrew's channel is in the description. If you're not already subscribed to him, please go over and check him out and give him a sub. I think you'll really enjoy him. And thank you, Andrew. We really appreciate it, and we'll talk to you soon.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Mike. Take care.
Good night. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed that half as much as I did. I know we spent a lot of time on fishing, and if you're here for the pipes, maybe that wasn't your thing, but it seemed like there was lots of interest in the in the chat for that. So hopefully that resonated with you guys. And you're still Salty Dogs is another great one there, Steve. So let's see. Sorry, Black Phoenix, I didn't see that one in time. Great. We're getting some thanks to Andrew, and glad you guys enjoyed it. Absolutely. Oh, Andrew, we'd love to see more fishing content. That would be great. I think it would be quite popular. But any content is fine. You know, one of the things that I thought was interesting that Andrew said was, you know, his channel is clearly successful and he's kind of all over the place. And I think that actually tells you something, because I don't think we necessarily tune in for the content, although that's an important part of it. But we tune in for the chance to see someone we know and to smoke a pipe while we listen to them and watch them smoke a pipe. You know, that's really what's important for us. And I say that because I think there's a lot of guys out there that say, oh, I'd make a video, but I don't have anything to talk about. And you do. You definitely do. I mean, if I can sit here for an hour and a half and keep you guys happy, anybody can do it. DDT 0889, last time you went fishing, all you caught was a buzz. There you go. Just use a harpoon and save time. Oh, Paul. Ah, Jimmy, I think he got him. But he also happened to like both blends. So. So Sailor's saying the best pipe tobacco to smoke on the open ocean on watch is a Scudo. We won't disagree with you, Sailor. It certainly is a good one. So I am back to the Haunted Bookshop. While I was talking to Andrew, I had a bowl of this Barbary Coast. This is quite good. If you saw my video on it a couple weeks ago, I am enjoying it. I probably wouldn't buy another tin, but it's good stuff. There you go, Couch. Although I don't think you talk about absolutely nothing. Aussie Piper's having some Escudo right now. Tim, you're really you're really hung up on that Bengal, aren't you? And Jimmy Tabacchi, I saw you come in. Good to see you, buddy. Don't think I caught you at the beginning there. So anyone have anything on their mind while I slowly finish my light beer? I really wish Voodoo was here. He would enjoy the fact that I'm not enjoying a Yingling. Patrick Grant was just smoking the nut. Sherman 53. Oh, I'm sorry guys, I shouldn't take these off. 536 Empire English in his new LCS Briar Rhodesian. That sounds great. Tony 513. It was called Japanese Silver Cotton. Yeah, see, Dude Rustic, I disagree. I liked your videos. See Smoke Pipes, that's fine, Eric. No worries. We're glad to have you. Hey, Cody, Bluefin Piper, good to see you. Amphora, Kentucky, and the Friday Savinelli. Very nice. Oh, with a Manhattan. Good stuff. Oh, Tim, that's fantastic. 6 chapters. That's how many chapters do you think the book's going to be when it's complete? Are you one of these guys that outlines everything, or do you just sit down and start writing? Night Piper's got some haunted bookshop and a doodler. Love those doodlers. Takio Kimura, hello. No worries, glad you could make it. Sounds good, Sea Smoke. You know, I will give you a bit of an update on that Japanese organic cotton. It is great stuff, but I realized when I refilled, if you recall last Friday, the lighter finally died after 4 days. So that was pretty remarkable. And I refilled it while I was talking, and I did the usual, 6-second squirt. And that only lasted about 2 days, which is still a lot more than it normally would. I think part of the benefit of the organic cotton is that you can load more juice into it. So, it's not quite the miracle that it seemed to be in terms of conserving fluid, but it still does stretch it out for at least twice as long. So I think it's well worth the cost. For $4 or $6, you get enough to do 10 or 15 Zippos. So it's well worth it. Smoking the Ghost, great to see you. Gotcha, Tim. Gotcha. That's interesting. Now, Dude Rustica, we don't need to start threatening folks. Especially not with that. I'm just kidding, Steve. Oh, Texas Piper. I hope you like that in Europe. I really love their pipes. I think they're quite good. It's hard, Dude Rustica. It may come to that, Andrew. Oh, that's okay, Sea Smoke. It'll give you something to listen to on the replay. Thank you for joining, Robert. Interesting, Michael Case. Bullseye flake without the Cavendish center. Oh, Couch, that's not a very nice thing to ask. I don't have an answer, but a lot. He's asking how many bowls of Haunted Bookshop I smoked. So I was stuck at the computer from 8 o'clock until 5 o'clock today, and I pretty much was smoking the whole time. All right, Ed, thank you for joining us, Armchair Piper, and you have a great weekend. So I don't know how many I smoked. I did smoke 2 bowls of Plantation Evening because I'm still oddly enjoying the occasional Latakia. Yes, Takio, that came up a couple weeks ago. Mr. Blanding builds his dream house, and my wife and I actually watched that when I took that couple of days vacation a week or 2 ago. Great movie, really great movie. Cary Grant was fantastic in it. I love Myrna Loy. I love the Thin Man movies. The only problem with that movie was I was expecting Myrna Loy to be the character from the Thin Man, and of course she wasn't. And that was a little disappointing. She had some of those qualities, but wasn't quite what I would hope for. You know, I wanted her to be Nora Charles. Oh, thank you, Kelly Mitchell. That's very kind of you, and I'm glad you enjoy them. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, Couch, it must be the weather. I got to get that vintage Syrian out and give it a try. Maybe I'll do that this weekend. But your video on that really got me thinking. I gotta crack that open. Oh, Tony, I don't have a bell. You know, I fought for a long time. I fought myself over the tip jar, and the reason I turned it on was that, you know, YouTube's playing games with the ads that I'm not happy with. You know, they're running a ridiculous number of ads on my video, and I'm getting almost nothing from the monetization. So I was going to turn off the monetization, but it turns out if I do that, they're still going to run the ads. So, you know, at least you know, I'll take the 30 cents a month from them because at least they don't get it. And you know, it was just a way to kind of offset some of the costs of doing this in terms of the equipment and upkeep and all that. So I appreciate it when folks can do it, but certainly not something that I'm expecting. And I don't want to get a bell because you know, I don't want to copy John's thing. You know, I loved when he did that. I loved when he rang the bell, and I would feel weird doing it. Oh, 965. I have to say I don't love 965. That we Rambling Dilettante and I have gone back and forth on this a couple times now. I just 965 is just another one of those Latakia blends to me, and I know it's a bit smoother, but there's so many good Latakia blends. Can't believe I just said that. There's so many Latakia blends in that category that, you know, I don't know. I just don't think 965 is as special as some folks do. But I'm glad you like it. All right, Kilted Piper Steve, please give our best to Kathy. Tell her to get well real soon. And, you know, we're going to continue to be praying for both of you. So you guys have a good night. An air horn. Well, Piper on the 45, that would definitely keep things interesting. Night Piper wants an air horn too. Oh, that's funny. I think you're right about that, Jimmy Tabaki. It is interesting that a lot of the time when I see the ads, they're ads for YouTube Premium, telling me that I don't have to watch the ads. You know what I could do instead of a bell or an air horn? I could turn the furnace back on. Uh, Heinrich's 39 and H.U. Turiak? I don't know that one. Very nice, Eric. I do know Heinrich's 39. Oh, Bob's Chocolate Flake. I got some of that too, which I should probably get out before it ages beyond being tasty. Get toot your own horn then. There you go, Ron. Now, I thought about like trying to put a sound effect into OBS or something like that, but Oh, you know what I could do? Uncle Buck Clapper. There you go, Tony. I could turn off the noise filters, and then you could hear the, how was it described? The jet engine fighting with an electric shaver noise that you're all complained about? Yes, Michael Case, that was a really nice thing that Sarge did on Match's birthday. Kevin, that's funny. Recording of Sarge's freezer. I might have to deal with copyright violations if I do that. A screaming goat. Maybe I can get our buddy Daniel over in Israel to record a screaming goat for me. West Virginia Grizzlies ask him about Cornell and Deal bow-legged bear. I don't remember it, to be honest. I know I had it. Anybody out there familiar with bow-legged bear? I can't even remember what kind of blend it was. Sorry. Yeah, Daniel would have some good sound effects for us, I'm sure. Sheep bleeding. I haven't seen Daniel in a while. I hope he's doing well. Although this is the middle of the night for him. Well, Takio, that's what I'm trying to do, but somebody suggested a bell when I did that. That's why we're having this conversation. Have not tried Windjammer. Anybody out there tried that? That looks good. I'm gonna have to get a tin of that soon. Purple Cow, that one did not sit well with me. It's a cigar leaf blend, and it's the only pipe tobacco that kind of made me nauseated, and I'm not sure why, because I don't normally have any nicotine issues, and I don't think it was a nicotine issue, but just something about that tobacco. And it might have just been that I wasn't, you know, maybe I ate something before that, or it's, you know, I don't know why, but you know, there's that learned taste aversion. So every time I see the Purple Cow tin, I think, oh no, I'm not going to smoke that. Yeah, Andrew, I'm in the same place. I'm really trying not to buy anything, but these things keep coming out, and Windjammer is definitely on that list of things I want to try. Oh yeah, Cody, the USPS has just been crazy. Oh, Charlie, you do that. Poor poor Boca de Boyton's neighbors on a Friday night. Maybe that's why it's called Purple Cow Night Piper. I don't know. Like I said, and I love Cornell and Deal. It's the only blend of theirs that I will absolutely never try to smoke again. Train horn. Was it you, Jim, that said you had a train horn? Are you by any chance trying to sell a train horn? What's a klaxon, Pipe Tree? Oh, Christian ordered some Windjammer too. So just remember, every time you from not tonight, but going forward, every time somebody puts something in a tip jar, Boca de Boyton's going to blow an air horn and wake up his neighbors. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Night Piper. Gotcha, Jim. A dog horn? What? I'm not sure I know what a dog horn is, Patrick, but cowbell. Well, we always need more cowbell. Oh, yeah, campana. I can't translate that, Takio. I almost got it, but it's not making sense to me. Is that what that said, Takio? Okay. I'll go back and rewatch this and see if I can figure it out. So I'm going to have to find a really obnoxious foghorn type sound effect for you guys for next week, aren't I? Yeah, I know what you mean, Eddie. That 10% is kind kind of tricky. It seems like a good deal, and then you realize that by the time maybe you're getting free shipping if you buy enough. Mm, I know what you mean, Pipe Tree. Yes, yes, I know exactly what you mean now. That would actually be kind of cool. Yeah, you should see Rustic a day at Dude Rustic's compound. It's impressive to see those trucks lined up outside and the cranes moving the moving the pallets in. Oh, Tim, I can always count on you for a laugh, can I? Oh, the General Lee horn. That'll get me in trouble there, Patches Seller. Thanks. A cow moo wouldn't be bad, but I'm not going to smoke purple cow. Um, Maybe I should do something haunting since I'm smoking haunted bookshop. Uh-oh, Scott, don't tell Cal Delta, sorry, Dude Rustiga that. Sorry, Steve, I almost let your secret identity slip there. Dozen guys buy some Windjammer and do a discussion on it. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. You know, maybe we. I wonder if we could do a Zoom first impressions type thing. You know, if we could get, it wouldn't have to be a dozen, but like maybe 6 guys buy something like Windjammer and don't smoke it until Friday night. We'll open the tin at the same time and uh, discuss it live on the live stream. What do you guys think of that? Oh, cool, Kelly Mitchell. Glad you like the haunted bookshop. Thank you for voting for the General Lee Horn. Rattling chains, yeah, yeah. Not a bad idea, Pipe Tree. Or Patrick. Creaking door sound, yeah. Uh, yeah, Dude Rustic is supplying pipes and cigars now. All right, Corvette Jim, thanks for joining us. Give our best to the missus. Hope she's doing well. You have a good weekend too, my friend. All right, I'll tell you what. So I need to get 4 or 6 guys at least that are willing to do that. So if you're willing to do that, if you've ordered or going to order Windjammer and you want to be on the Zoom thing, send me an email. I'll order a tin and we'll see if we can get that scheduled. So just send me an email at CaneRodPiper@gmail.com. I almost said Gmail Piper. Don't send anything to Gmail Piper. I don't know who that is. CaneRodPiper@gmail.com. I like that idea. That would be kind of fun, like a little community first impressions type thing. It's Paul. I think it's a GLP blend, so yeah, it's probably USA. I don't know if it's being sold elsewhere. And I'd offer to try to send you some, but by the time it got to you, we'd probably be looking for things to talk about in 2022, the way the post office is these days. All right, great. Please, if you want to get in on this Windjammer thing, send me an email just so I can get a list together, and I'll see if I can put that together. I still have the professional Zoom license, so I can run that for more than 40 minutes, and just need to remember how I wired it up for Halloween, but I'm sure I'll be able to figure that out. That'll be fun. Ah, good tip there, Piper. So Paul, check out Four Noggins, because they'll ship to you, and they apparently have it in stock. And while you're at it, get some Weybridge. I really like that Weybridge. I've been smoking a lot of that this week. Well, folks, I'm glad to say that beer is gone. I love Yingling Lager, but Yingling Flight is not something I'm going to buy again. But that's done. My haunted bookshop is nearly done. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. Really enjoyed it. Thank you again, Andrew, for being our guest tonight. It was a great time. I hope you all enjoyed the weekend. I will probably make a video on Sunday. We'll see how it's going. Oh, by the way, I've got a new restoration series that I just started last Monday. The next video in that series will post on Monday. Hope you enjoy that. So with that, guys, I'm going to say goodnight, and you all take care, and we'll see you again very soon.